This book was written because certain questions, once raised, cannot be set aside without consequence. Eldership is Male arose out of a real and specific situation, not a theoretical debate and not a cultural commentary. The matter concerned a proposal within a Christian church to appoint women as elders. The proposal was presented in the language of equality, kindness, progress, but it stood in direct conflict with the teaching of Scripture. This book records what happened when that conflict was confronted rather than ignored. Originally published under a different title, the work was later republished as Eldership is Male to state plainly what the New Testament teaches without qualification and without apology. The question was never whether women are valued, capable or gifted. The question was whether the church has authority to redefine what God has ordered. The New Testament is clear that eldership is a responsibility given to men, not as a mark of superiority, but as a matter of order. That order reflects something greater than church governance. It reflects the relationship between Christ and his church. When that order is abandoned, something essential is lost. This book records the steps that were taken when the proposal was announced, letters written, meetings held, and appeals made to Scripture. It also records the resistance that followed and the cost of refusing to yield conscience to sentiment. The issues addressed in the book extend beyond one local church. They touch on biblical authority, the difference between equality and order, the pressure to conform to cultural expectations, and the cost of maintaining clear distinctions in a confused age. These matters are not peripheral. They strike at the heart of how the church understands itself. It is a statement of fact, as obvious and as contested as the simple assertion that only a woman can be pregnant. When obvious truths are denied, clarity itself becomes controversial. This book is not about secular gender politics. It is about spiritual governance. It argues that when the church abandons biblical eldership, it loses a vital picture, the mirror of Christ and his bride. The account includes personal correspondence, formal responses, theological reflection, and historical material, not to inflame debate, but to document what occurred and why certain lines could not be crossed. I wrote this book because silence in this instance would have signalled agreement, and agreement would have required the surrender of biblical conviction. Eldership is Male was written for pastors, elders, and Christians who wish to understand why church order matters and why clarity, once lost, is difficult to recover.